Live streamed. Super excited, guys. We have yet another 60-second expert with us today, and I'm trying to get my mic going here. I am so excited to have our very own Kelvin Ma. I met Kelvin a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago or so, when I was looking to learn how to optimize my listing, how to really hone in on my visibility on the OTA, specifically Airbnb. And what I love about Kelvin as an innovator, he figured out a way to give us just that information on where are we landing in terms of which page we're on compared to our competitor. Of course, people search a little bit differently, and depending on that search, what that would look like would change. But overall, I've been really excited about your tool, Kelvin. It is one that is like a tool in my tool chest. Whenever we're in the process of troubleshooting, I pull up Rank Breeze. And as a matter of fact, last week we did a deep dive on it with the members within the community, and the minds that were expanded and blown. It just was absolutely incredible. So there you have it, peeps. Okay, I've got Kelvin Ma with us. He is one of our experts that will be presenting at the 60 at the Luxury Short-Term Rental Summit. It's been a day. Luxury Short-Term Rental Summit. He's one of our 60 expert guests. And don't forget, this summit is going to be so powerful because each guest, here's a catch, each guest only has 60 seconds to compress years of information, years of experience to give us that one thing or those 3 steps or the one big mistake to avoid, the thing that's going to move the needle for you as you look to getting started with short-term rentals. So Kelvin, please introduce yourself. Tell the people about what you do in the short-term rental industry. And I just, again, wanted to thank you for being a part of this.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. Appreciate the invite, and big claps to you for putting together this summit. I know it's a really big achievement. I'm sure you're going to look back on it as a big part of your life for sure. So yeah, my name's Kelvin, Kelvin Ma. I'm the CEO and founder of Rank Breeze. Rank Breeze is a software company. We're software and services. So by software, I mean, software developers building a product, building a tool, and services is involving project managers that we have in our group as well. So what we do is we help Airbnb hosts, short-term rental owners, managers, vacation rental managers. You guys, what we do is we help you optimize your listings to rank higher on Airbnb. That's usually the main thing that we do, but we do cover 3 core areas. We cover rankings. Oh, I probably should have done that. Rankings, pricing, and market data. So rankings is understanding your search visibility, how to optimize your property for more visibility and more views on Airbnb. And the second would be pricing. So what you should price and how, looking at your competitors and monitoring your competitors in terms of pricing. And then the third would be market data. So market data is around where you might want to consider investing, what types of amenities you might want to add into your property. And we have a cool little Chrome extension where you can search on Airbnb and you click a little button, we'll collect all the properties in that area and give you a nice report. So that's essentially what we do over at Rank Breeze.
Awesome. And we already have Lorna that's joining us on LinkedIn. And guys, we're streaming on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all the things. Okay. So Lorna says rain freeze. It is Rank Breeze. So I just spelled it out. So for those of you who may be listening on audio or on the road, Rank Breeze, RANKBREEZE. So essentially ranking. Where are you ranking? So yeah. Awesome. I'm super excited to hear about that because right now, Kelvin, there's a lot of concern about properties that we may have in our portfolio that aren't performing the way we would expect. We aren't seeing them rank appropriately or so. And so there has been some changes to the algorithm. And I think it's more and more important that we kind of get dialed in on that. Can you speak to that? What happened? What just transpired over the last couple of months? And I know you came into our community and that was awesome. We were like, remember when we talked about it, I was like, okay, you don't see the number of individuals that are rating. And then we identified that, like, it was like breaking news when we had identified some of those changes that we weren't seeing anymore on the platform. We weren't seeing our listing descriptions, which is that, like, so near and dear to us, but that should be making a comeback if it hasn't already. I need to look, my head's been down. So
Yeah.
what happened over the last couple of months, and tell us what we should know.
Yeah. So I'll try to, I know we've got some compressed time here. So essentially what happened is that Airbnb did a really big launch, and they started to organize properties, all the properties on Airbnb, into specific categories. So categories such as pool or amazing view or lakefront, off the grid. These are different types of categories that Airbnb started to organize properties in, and they're still continuing to do that. But what happened is that they had made a pretty big change to the way that people search for properties on Airbnb. And that meant that everybody was kind of bundled in. Originally, how maybe a couple months back, everybody was in the same area, and that was called the all homes category. And then eventually they kind of split into different tabs on the top of the page to give you the ability to search for properties off the grid. But how that kind of backfired a little bit was that you might go to San Antonio, for example. You go on to Airbnb, you're looking for a place as a guest, and then one of the properties, or sorry, the first category that was recommended to you was off the grid. And so, but you're looking in San Antonio, but the first category that's being shown to you is the off the grid category. So if you click that, it basically zooms the whole map out, and you're looking at properties outside of the city now. And the whole point of what Airbnb is trying to do, which is something that they kind of got away with that new update, is shortening the length of time that a guest takes to make a booking. Right, that's a really important metric that Airbnb has. That they're building all their engineers and their designers are all focused on this specific metric, which is when a person first starts their search, how long does it usually take for them to actually make a booking, right? So that might be, I think it used to be 4 days, and they brought it down to 3 days as the average. And I think they eventually brought it down to like a 2 day or 2.5 day. I'm sure it kind of sits in between there, but that's kind of what happened. And then Airbnb did these new ad category updates. There's a few things where they removed the titles from there, the titles from the search results page. They removed the number of reviews that your property has as well, but you still have the overall star rating there too. And being the community, the Airbnb host community got together and told Airbnb what's going on and how they're not happy about it, which is what we definitely should be doing around these cases. And they've now brought back titles into the search results page. So if you go to Airbnb, you should see the title back in there. It's not as prominent as it was before. They ended up replacing the title with something like condo in San Antonio, or home in San Antonio, or vacation home in San Antonio. These are the types of it. So it's like the property type in the city and the area that you're in. So that's still like the biggest part of it, but underneath, your title is still visible there. So they brought that back. That is now it's still, I mean, before, when they removed titles, it didn't really help you with driving clicks, right? Like, that was the whole point, is that now it came down to the only things that mattered when it came to getting a click from the search results page was your photos. So now your photos are still obviously very, very important, if not the most important thing, but now you can still use the title to help gather up attract more people to click on your listing, essentially now. So that's where we're at today with these with Airbnb's search results.
Gotcha. Okay. So now I understand why they removed the titles. Essentially, that indecision or decision fatigue from trying to compare this title versus that title, so all you have is a photo, and all you had was, the star rating, essentially,
Mm-hmm. And you could
whatever
get
the
a sense for
property in such and such, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
So now
gotcha.
they've brought the title
They
back,
brought it back.
um,
Yeah.
and you can use it now in terms of
Yes.
improving your click-through rate. Click-through rates are one of the 150 plus different ranking factors that Airbnb has, and a click-through rate is the amount of people that saw your property
Mhm.
versus the amount of people that actually clicked through to your property to open up your listing on a new page. So that's when that happens, that's like a check mark. Consider it like a little check mark for your property each time when somebody clicks through on that. It's adding and helping you with your rankings.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So that's good to know. Essentially, initially I was thinking, why would they remove my title? That makes no sense, but it does make sense. But I'm glad it's back because seriously, it takes a lot of time to craft those titles, and to, know to update them. It's something that is a part of our quarterly update when we
Mm-hmm.
are optimizing our listing. A part of it is making sure that our title is in synergy with the season or with the crowd that we're looking to attract. So I'm really glad that that's back. So, guys,
Yeah.
there you have it. We have the expert with us, Kelvin Ma. He is one of our speakers at the Luxury Short-Term Rental Summit. We open our doors to the summit on this upcoming Tuesday, July the 12th. All of the content will be available to you at 8 a.m. Eastern. And then we have an open ceremony in the evening. We have networking portions of this. So if you do have a VIP pass, you'll get to network with some of these experts. Otherwise, you will definitely get to network with all of the members in the community who attend the networking sessions. We have a couple of keynotes. And so I think it's going to be a week that is chock full of amazing experiences. And I got to tell you guys, and I can't, I do not want to underestimate the power of networking. I want to make sure that everyone understands that because here's the deal. I am bringing to you my network. This is essentially, I'm opening my Rolodex and telling you, these are the tools, these are the individuals, these are the people that I kind of tap on the shoulder when I need my, some help with my listings, when I need some help with acquisitions of short-term rentals. These are the lenders that I use. So I'm essentially opening my Rolodex because everything is figure outable and you don't have to do it all on your own. You don't have to know everything. My mantra is you need to know who knows what it is that you need to know, right? So it's more of the who, not how. I don't have to figure it all out. I just need to know who to talk to. And, for better or for worse, is who you now know, not what you know. It's who you know. And so if you know, and if you have access to the tools, if you have access to the individuals, so that you can make a decision confidently, right? I go in confidently. I don't know all the things. I go in confidently because I know the people in my sphere, they have my back essentially. I can reach out to Kelvin, he's a busy founder and CEO. And I kid you not, within 24, 48 hours, he actually responds to me, which always amazes me, by the way. So, and I thank you for that. And I am bringing him to you to let you know that this is the expert with an amazing tool, with an amazing resource. And we didn't even talk about Air Review yet, but nevertheless, just absolutely an amazing resource and an amazing tool. I love Rank Breeze. I got to say, I love having that visibility. I feel almost like I'm a spy, I get to see what others aren't seeing. And that's part of being a top operator. You're not going to operate your short-term rental like, maybe no offense, legacy property managers, but the legacy property managers from the 60s and 70s who just kind of let it, flow. You got to kind of do a little bit more, if not a lot more, and do a little bit of that, undercover work to make sure
Yeah.
you understand what's happening to your listing. Because whether it's a good day or a bad day, there are levers you can pull to see what's going on. I love looking at the top 10. Why do they deserve to be the top 10? Why is mine not top 10? And then you start to, identify what are the nuances? What are the differences? You make a few changes, you document it, you see if it works, you make another few changes, and so on and so forth. It is so figure outable. There's no mystery really, right? It's not mysterious. For some parts are, but you get to see some visibility and you can make some moves that are going to move the needle. So Kelvin, I know we're at like the top of our time. Any tips, hints, tricks? that we all need to be looking at right now? Anything that you're seeing that is making more of an impact than others in terms of listing optimization right now? I'm getting asked questions every day about listing optimization.
Mm.
What would you like to add?
Well, I would say that part of what you mentioned just these last few minutes relates very well to the 60-second 60-second video that I put together for your summit here. So I'm not gonna say that because I kind of want to leave that
Yeah. Don't spill the tea.
for
We're not
those
going to spill the
people.
tea.
But in general, I'll just say the titles, because I mean that's a really new thing that just happened a few days ago, and the way that they've adjusted the titles, you might want to look at how you're comparing how do you compare against other people in your area. That's essentially one of the biggest levers that you can pull. We call that spot checks. So we look at a particular upcoming weekend available, and we look at our most common guest count, and then we in RankBreeze, we have a button. It's called the spot check button. You click that little button, it opens up Airbnb exactly into your area, and you can essentially you can quickly see how you compare how your property compares to other properties in your area for different dates and different guest counts and things like that. So you can kind of make a little bit more of an educated guess around your pricing strategy, your photo strategy, and now your title strategy, because titles are a little different now. They're not this big bold part. So you kind of have to think about how that's going to fit into the overall allure that your property should have. You need to stop people from scrolling by your property, right? So that's the main thing.
All right, guys. So tonight I want all of you to go ahead and look at titles on Airbnb, whether you have your properties listed or you're looking to list a property for the first time. This summit is definitely going to help support that. But look at the titles. Go on Airbnb tonight, look at titles, take a look at what speaks to you and what is off-putting, right? And so that's a great tip, Kelvin. You've already given us an actionable step, right? And this is what it's about. What's one actionable step that I can take today? And so that's it right there. And so super excited about that.
So I was going to say too, if you are a RankBreeze user, you already know that inside of RankBreeze there's like the keyword suggestions tool, the keyword ideas tool, which tells you recommendations. It essentially looks at the top ranking properties in your area, pulls out the keywords, and then shows them to you, so you can organize things based on like average daily rate, occupancy rates, where they're ranking and stuff like that. You can kind of make a little bit more of an educated guess than just spying around on things. It's kind of taking a lot of the heavy lifting off of it. Yeah.
Love that, guys. And that's why I love RankBreeze. Let's take the mystery out of stuff and let's just get to it. Who has time to be mysteriously, scrolling through? And so absolutely excited about this tool. Again, Kelvin, you were an operator yourself. You recognized there was a problem and you decided, you know what, I'm going to work on solving this problem. And that's what I love about this industry. We have a lot of problem solvers and innovators in the industry. So thank you. And thank you again, Kelvin, for participating in this summit. I just so look forward to all of the members, of the community, them connecting with you and learning more about RankBreeze so that we can all kind of rise and a rising tide together. So thank you again. And guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We will definitely be looking at the replay to make sure that we can get you connected. If you're asking about the summit, the website is luxstrsummit.com. That's luxstrsummit.com. Thank you again for joining us today. And oh, by the way, one more thing. Tonight, I'm going to have a live Q&A. Ask me anything about the summit. We'll be posting a calendar of all the events, the times, the places, and so on and so forth. So if you have any questions, definitely jump into the live tonight. I'll be streaming on all the things again, and drop your question and ask me anything about the summit. I so look forward to connecting with you all. Okay, good night for now. Goodbye for now, rather.